This is What's Wild in New Hampshire by a wildlife biologist. Hey, I'm Fall. Fall is relaxed, you know. Fall is like a big tub of water you're draining, except the drain maybe doesn't work all that great. So life from New Hampshire drains slowly in the fall. You know, the swallows leave in August, and hawks in September, and the birds and the wildlife, and eventually the frogs and the salamanders and the toads. Well, they go away in the fall, and the woodchucks. And it wasn't until the end of January that the loons were captured on Lake Winnipesaukee. So loons were late this year, leaving New Hampshire and going to the ocean. So fall, fall happens very slowly in New Hampshire. But spring floods into New Hampshire. Step outside right now. We got a skip of snow last night. You hear the eaves dripping, but by 1 o'clock, you're going to hear running water, trickling running water. Spring floods into New Hampshire. It does. We are in the midst of a flood right now in New Hampshire, a flood of life. I'm telling you, in the next 6 weeks, 10 weeks at most, there will be billions of new neighbors in New Hampshire. Billions. And who are they? Birds. Birds are already back. Red-winged blackbirds. The birds are coming back. The ducks and geese have just poured into New Hampshire, waiting to nest and have young or move north and do it there. So yeah, the waterfowl and the birds are flooding back in New Hampshire right now. And who's next? The fish. April is fish month in New Hampshire. Many of our fish will be laying eggs. Fish, frogs, salamanders, they'll all be laying eggs in the month of April. You'll be hearing the spring peepers. This week, by the end of the week, we're going to be in the 60s in central and southern New Hampshire. Probably our spring peepers will be off and running and headed to the vernal pools, headed to the wetlands and ponds to lay their eggs, and the salamanders as well, and toads soon to follow. So, starting now, any rainy night, don't drive. Get that gallon of milk on the way home. Leave the roads to our friends, the frogs and salamanders and toads from now on. If it's raining, don't go out and drive. You will be killing them by the thousands, by the tens of thousands. So stay off the roads any night that it's raining from now on through at least the month of May. Yes, frogs and salamanders are on the road. And fish, I mentioned. You know, April is when the river herring come back to New Hampshire. Some years, several 100,000, 200,000. One female herring may lay 200,000 eggs. Multiply 100,000 by 200,000, you get something like, billions of herring alone. New Hampshire is exploding with life right now. And it's birds, it's fish, it's frogs, and guess what? Well, crickets and grasshoppers and spiders and all kinds of other insects laid their eggs last fall. They'll be hatching too. So billions is not an unreasonable number for new neighbors here in New Hampshire. This is the best time of year to get outside and watch the explosion of life. There will be more life by the end of April, certainly by the end of May. May is when the birds come back. Our southern birds, our warblers, back by the first week of May, laying eggs. Everybody's got sitting those eggs, hatching them out. Hawks and owls are already hatching out their eggs. So life is exploding in New Hampshire right now. It is literally, fireworks are going on right now in the wild. They're breeding and laying their eggs of fish and frogs and birds, and the raccoons and foxes and fisher and coyotes, they've already mated, and they'll be having their young in April too. Which reminds me, April is also beaver month. Another reason to be watching out if you can avoid driving those rainy nights, but it doesn't take a rainy night. Our beavers, when they have a family, when the young are 2 years old, mom and dad say it's time to move on. So a lot of beavers are killed on our roads in the month of April. So if you're driving past a wetland at night right now, rain or not, hopefully not a rainy night, I just told you, stay off the roads on rainy nights. So any nights that you're driving now, watch out for our young beavers that are being booted out by mom and dad saying, you got to get out of here. they'll be crossing our road. So they're dark fur. Watch out for our beavers. The month of April, they're on the move, and some other animals as well. So watch out for beavers. But right now, life is literally exploding in New Hampshire. Yes, we got some snow, but by this afternoon, it'll be gone in central and southern New Hampshire. And things are just changing so rapidly. I'm telling you, life is returning by the minute right now in New Hampshire. It's coming out of the ground. It's coming out of the air. It's coming up our rivers. Life is filling New Hampshire. There will be more life in New Hampshire by the end of April, and certainly by mid-May, than any other time of the year. New Hampshire will be brimming with life come April and early May. So get outside right now. Listen. Listen for that trickle, the drip that will turn into a trickle. I'm telling you, by 1 o'clock today, there'll be lots of melting water. It'll be flooding, and our wildlife is just like that water running. It is flooding into New Hampshire, coming out of the ground, coming out of our rivers, coming out of the air. New Hampshire is filling with wildlife right now. This is the most exciting time of year in New Hampshire if you're paying attention. Get outside right now over the next 6 to 10 weeks and pay attention. If you don't, you're going to miss it. Get outside and enjoy New Hampshire right now. This is wildlife biologist, an excited wildlife biologist, Eric Orff, for What's Wild in New Hampshire.